We go to Florida, where winning is just another day that ends in Y. A bill that was passed and signed into law last year by one macho man, Ron DeSantis, banning child mutilation on minors, was blocked by a federal judge.
You stupid fuck!
As he clutched his pearls and his rectum clenched.
It's really hard.
Calling it unconstitutional.
You're a fucking idiot.
I'm Jasper Gonzo, and this...
Excuse me, it's ma'am. Fuck you.
And it's What's Next. What's up, everyone? Jasper Gonzo, What's Next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are feeling good today. Wednesday, midweek, hump day, if you will. Well, winning hasn't come easy for the Republican Party. Not since the 2016 presidential election of one Donald J. Trump has we had a major victory. Then came the midterms in 22. The so-called red wave never came outside of one state. That one state, Florida, led by the macho man himself, Ron DeSantis, who is a total savage in going after the woke and the trash nonsense. Well, last year he signed a law that was passed banning child mutilation on minors, banning hormone therapies on minors, thinking that, well, Johnny is really Jane. No, Johnny's Johnny, Jane is Jane, and in Florida, that's the way it's supposed to be. But for one federal judge who woke up one day, looked at the law, clutched his pearls, his rectum clenched as he got offended. I have to block this law. And so he did. Well, he calls it unconstitutional. Me, I call it bullshit. And here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. A Florida law blocking treatment for trans mental children, quote unquote, because not really, is thrown out by a federal judge. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. A federal judge on Tuesday struck down a 23 Florida law that blocked gender-affirming care. No, it's not care at all. For trans mental minors, and several severely restricted such treatments for adults, calling the statute unconstitutional. Now, where in the Constitution says that you can mutilate your children? I'll wait. I'm going to be waiting a very long damn time because it does not exist. Senior Judge Robert Hinkle said the state went too far into barring transgender minors from being prescribed puberty blockers and hormone treatments with their parents' permission. He also stopped the state from requiring that transgender adults also receive treatment from a doctor and not a registered nurse or other qualified medical practitioners. And he also barred a ban on online treatment for transgender adults. Could this Judge Hinkle be wearing a skirt? Well, looks like it. Hinkle said that transgender people are constitutionally entitled to legitimate treatment and they need to. No, there's nothing constitutional about it, moron. Quoting the late Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. You're quoting Martin Luther King Jr. MLK. Compared those who oppose it to those who were once against equality for minorities and women. Now we know where this judge stands. Leftist mother... Some transgender opponents invoke religion to support their position, just as once invoked religion to support racism or misogyny. Hinkle wrote in a 105-page decision. Transgender opponents are, of course, free to hold their own beliefs, but they are not free to discriminate against transgender individuals for just being transgender. Yeah, nothing DEI about this. In time, discrimination against transgender individuals will diminish. No, because it's not discrimination. Calling facts facts. Men are men, women are women. You have balls, you're a man. If you have a vagina, you're a woman. Move on. Just as racism and misogyny have diminished. He continued, to paraphrase a civil rights advocate from earlier time, the arc of moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Wow. Republican Governor Ron Macho Man DeSantis office blasted Hinkle's ruling ensuing that statement, calling it erroneous and vowing to appeal. Oh yes, they will appeal. And they will win. Through their elected representatives, the people of Florida acted to protect children in their state. The court was wrong to override these wishes. As we here see in Florida, the United Kingdom, across Europe, there is no quality evidence to support chemical or physical mutilation of children. These procedures do not do permanent and life-altering damage to children, and history will look back on this fad in horror. Well said. But those who sued the state celebrated the decision because of course they did. Lucian Hamill, a trans mental adult, issued a statement. I'm so relieved that the court saw no medical basis for this law. It was passed just to target trans mental people like me and trying to push us out of Florida because we're mentally ill. This is my home. I've lived here my entire life, he said. This is my son's home. I can't just uproot my family and move across the country. So, you're a father. How does your son feel about this? Let's hear from him. The state has no place in interfering in people's private medical decisions, and I'm relieved that once again I can get the health care that I need here in Florida. A mother once sued the mother of one children who sued this. The ruling means I won't have to watch my daughter needlessly suffer because I can't get her the care she needs. Did you ever think of, I don't know, a psychologist? Seeing Susan's fear about this ban has been one of the hardest experiences we've endured as parents, said the woman. She was identified in court documents as Jane Doe and saw her daughter as Susan Doe to protect their privacy. No, she's not your daughter, she's your son. Wow, man, the mental illness is real and it is getting thick. All we wanted to do is take this fear away and help him continue to be the happy, confident child he is now. DeSantis signed the law last year as he was gearing up for a presidential campaign that was highly based on culture wars. We never did this through all this in human history until 2 weeks ago? Now this is something, he told the cheering supporters at the time he signed the bill. They are having third graders declare pronouns. We're not doing this pronoun garbage Olympics in Florida. Amen. At trial, Florida attorneys had conceded that the state cannot stop someone from pursuing trans mental identity, but said it can regulate medical care. For minors, only treatments and issues puberty blockers, treatments, and cross-sex hormones. Giving testosterone to someone assigned female at birth, for example, those who were undergoing treatment when the law was adopted in May of 23 were allowed to continue surgery, which is rare for minors. Really? Did you see all the stories? Really? Was still being blocked. For adults, treatment was still allowed, but only could be done by a physician instead of an advanced practitioner, registered nurse, or other professional. It requires a patient to sign a consent form in person while in the same room with the doctor, meaning that the treatment could be only done in video call or otherwise online, or couldn't be done, something not normally required with other medical procedures. Violators could be charged criminally, and medical providers could lose their licenses. Yes, and I got no issues. Hinkle wrote that Florida had long been allowed treatment for gender dysphoria. Yes, it is a mental disorder. You treat it as such. It's called professional help. The feeling that one's gender identity does not match with one's sex at registered birth. You're not registered. You're a boy, you're a girl. That's it. That's it. But the political winds have changed, Hinkle wrote. He was appointed by the bench by Democratic President Bill Slick Willie Clinton in '96. For 99% of people, Hinkle wrote, their biological sex and gender identity are the same, but for a few, they differ. Hinkle said in a statement admitting that during a trial, even some won't think that trans mental people are making a choice of whether to read Shakespeare or Grisham. Wow. Many people with this view tend to disapprove of things all trans mental and so oppose the medical care to support it. He said even though the state concedes that it cannot constitutionally block people from identifying as trans mental, he is presenting themselves as they wish. Several legislators made it clear in their comments that this was their goal. At least 25 states have adopted laws restricting and banning gender-affirming medical care for trans mental minors, and most of those states facing lawsuits. The only one to be struck down so far that is, quote, unconstitutional, end quote, the ban in Arkansas, which the state has appealed to the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals. Advocates are asking the U.S. Supreme Court to block Tennessee's ban or gender-affirming care for minors. Judges' orders are placed temporarily blocking enforcement of a ban in Montana and aspects of the ban in Georgia. Thoughts? Didn't think the story was going to go as long as it did, but I just want to make sure I got everything out, full context. The fact of the matter is that this was common sense a decade ago. Common fucking sense. Now you literally have to jump through hoops to make it clear to a sitting judge who makes it very clear from a leftist point of view in regards to trans mental adults and forcing children to be something that they're not through hormones and, yes, surgery. So when I read that one part where it says surgery is rare, bullshit. Story after story after story. Eyewitness after eyewitness after eyewitness. You even have those who are detransitioning because they were lied to. They were fed bullshit lies, demonic lies, into forcing them into something that they are not. Because God didn't create them that way. But for this, it will be appealed. And it will be overturned. This judge is an idiot. He's a moron. And needs to be thrown off the fucking bench. And with that being said, I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue watching the show, spreading the word. Appreciate you guys. And we'll see you next time. Peace.